Welcome everyone. It's certainly a beautiful day to be making this announcement. I've talked a lot about long-term planning in this campaign, and I've also talked about how I see this campaign, which offers a real potential for change. That while we do not choose to inherit the earth we have today, marked by the conflict and challenges of the past, we as leaders and as citizens don't have to leave that world to our children. We can leave something much, much better. That from 20 years from now, I want our children to look back upon this campaign and say to themselves, that's when they started making some of the hard decisions and the right decisions that created a better world for us today. And that is very true as well of our environment. One of the reasons I keep talking about the long term is that the short-term solutions are often expensive and wasteful. If Winnipeg is to be a city of 1 million people by 2030, we need to learn to tread more lightly upon this earth. There is no contradiction between doing what is right for the environment and doing what is right for the economy. Having a sustainable city is about making the most of scarce resources. Ultimately, our goal should be to be as environmentally efficient as possible. But that takes leadership. It takes a mayor who is willing to take the lead on this issue and make it a genuine priority. And when something is a genuine priority, it means that it is funded. We need dedicated funding to environmental projects so that the city can reduce its environmental impact. And this is where it starts. As mayor, I will create a dedicated environmental project fund. This fund would be financed by an expanded environmental tax levy that would charge a total of 3 cents more for disposable drink containers. Currently, the levy is 2 cents per container. This would be increased to 10 cents per container and 5 cents refund fee introduced. So the total increase would be 3 cents per container. Since Manitobans consume 400 million drinks in containers in 2013, if applied in Winnipeg, only the levy itself would generate around $7 million a year, while also sharply increasing recycling and keeping recycling materials out of landfill. Both Saskatchewan and Alberta have refunds on recyclables, and their recycling rates are considerably better than Manitoba's. Currently, the 2-cent fee is collected in Manitoba by the Canadian Beverage Container Recycling Association, but it is not collected by the provincial government. It could be raised without having to go to the provincial government. The first priority for the Environmental Fund should be to help pay for long-delayed upgrades to our city's wastewater treatment plants, such as the one I have behind me. They dump hundreds of tons of phosphorus a year into our Red River, where it flows into our Lake Winnipeg, and which feeds the toxic blue-green algae blooms that we find every summer. These blooms have become a regular sight on beaches around the lake, where my children, our children, all play. The City of Winnipeg's North End treatment plant is the single largest point source of phosphorus contributing to Lake Winnipeg. It is the 4th largest point source of phosphorus in Canada. And now making the commitment to upgrade these plants is the single most important thing we can do to help save Lake Winnipeg. It is much harder to get everyone on board to clean up their phosphorus in our city, when our city, the single largest polluter, won't do it. And we need to lead by example. Because if we lead on this issue, others will follow. I am not going to pretend that this is not a major, expensive project, because it is an expensive project. It is in fact difficult to say, though, how much this project will cost, because the city keeps moving the goalposts. Some recent estimates of this project are up to $950 million. The environmental levy is not going to pay for it all on its own, though it could be used to finance infrastructure funding. But I do not want to raise property taxes or business taxes. So instead, I am laying down a challenge to the people of Winnipeg and Manitoba and all Canadians who care about Lake Winnipeg and who want to see it saved. There are many people in our country who believe in this lake. It has been talked about right across North America. There are many fishermen who count upon this lake for their livelihood. There are communities around the lake who count on this lake for their drinking water. There are families with cottages who want to be able to play on the beach free from toxic green algae. Now, there are other people as well who also understand that clean water is the most precious resource that we have, and it is the very stuff of life. As mayor, I will issue Save the Lake Winnipeg bonds that will go to a construction for the plant behind me. Our city and our citizens have come together and have been bound together to fight floods and to build a floodway to protect the city. This is our next great community project, a project that will help bring the world's most threatened lake back to life. And there are many, many things that we can and should do to make Winnipeg a greener city. Like Calgary, we must consider a 100-year plan, already based on city planning. Winnipeg should be part of Manitoba's water conservation district so we can better coordinate with the rest of the province. We should explore using phosphorus recovery technology like that being used in Portage-La Prairie, which will allow phosphorus to be extracted from the water and turned into fertilizer for commercial use. Above all, it takes leadership. This is an issue that extends beyond the perimeter, but it will take leadership from City Hall to get it done. It is leadership that I am looking forward to providing for all people of the city of Winnipeg, for all people of Manitoba, and all Canadians. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Salamat. Tapwe Ketwam.